So we got a call about a little girl named Destiny Reyes. She was 4 years old, in her car seat, when she got rear-ended on Haven Avenue, which is in Rancho Cucamonga, San Bernardino County. She suffered a severe brain injury, and although she could walk and talk again, after being hit that way, she was never ever going to be the same. She never ever will be the same. The best we could do is get her the most amount of money to make sure that she has the best medical care, the best life care for the rest of her life. The insurance company would not pay $250,000 to settle her case. So the lawyer that referred us the case said, "I think this policy might be open. What do you think?" We looked at the letters, we looked at the materials, the information the insurance company had been provided with, and it was clear that they had blown the policy, that the insurance company had decided not to pay, and by doing so, exposed the insured policyholder defendants to the risk of a judgment and a jury verdict far in excess of the $250,000 policy limits. So from the day that Destiny was hurt, she went into the hospital with a bleeding brain. The insurance company, knowing that she was in the hospital with a severe traumatic brain injury, not knowing whether she would live or die, refused to pay the insurance policy limits. Months after she was hurt, she's still in the hospital. The insurance company wouldn't pay. They wouldn't take the referring lawyer seriously. They delayed. They said, "Well, we need more information." They said, "Give us an extension." Did all the things that insurance companies do. So eventually that referring lawyer got sick and tired of waiting, and they called us. And we came in and said, now the game has changed. It's not a $250,000 demand anymore. It's a $50 million demand. And you're going to pay it, or we're going to get more. You choose. When that happens, when an insurance company refuses to pay the policy limits and exposes its insured policyholders to the risk of a jury verdict and a judgment in excess of the policy limits, here the policy limits being $250,000, the insurance company steps in the shoes of its insured policyholder and has to pay the amount of the jury verdict, whatever that ends up being. That's called an open policy. That can be done in every state. And if you tell me that it can't be done in your state, I'll spend some time and tell you how it can be done. So we looked at the case, and we looked at what the value of it was. We believed the value was $50 million at least. So we made a demand for that amount. But just making a demand for that amount isn't enough. You have to work it up, you have to prove it. So what we did is we spent time with Destiny and her family. We got to know them the way we would a member of our own family. And we fell in love with her. We committed to doing whatever it would take to see her through this. Not only through a jury verdict and a judgment or a settlement, but whatever it would take to take care of her for the rest of her life. And we will do that. We're on the right track so far. But making a demand for $50 million, you got to back it up. You have to put in the work. You have to hire the right experts. You have to get all the medical records and all the evidence put together. That's where DK Global came in. I've worked with them over and over again with the best results. At a moment's notice, they jumped into the case. They took the medical records, the CT films, the MRI scans, the medical reports, the life care plan, and within a matter of days, they put together a presentation that would take the very complex, hard to understand medical issues, issues with anatomy, issues with understanding what happened at the biochemical level inside this little girl's brain. And they put together a presentation that any jury in the United States would understand. We went to the mediation. We stuck to our guns. We weren't willing to settle the case for anything less than $40 million. Back at the mediation, and after getting DK Global's presentation put together, we looked at that, we said, we shouldn't go less than $50 million. After looking at what DK Global put together, we were confident that we were right. In fact, we didn't want to settle for less than the $50 million we were demanding. And he said, how about a number with a 3 in front of it, something in the $30 million range? I said, no, it's not going to happen, and I'm going to leave. I'm not going to sit here for this 3-hour mediation and listen to offers like that. You have till the end of this mediation to pay $50 million. They said, how about a bracket, $35 million to $45 million? I said, no. I said, how about a bracket from $40 million to $47,500,000? And then they said, how about $40 million to $45 million? I said, you got 5 minutes. We'll do $45 million, because that's what our client's mother said was okay. Our client's mother said that'll be enough. We had a structured settlement broker there, someone who had put on paper and cast out, taken the life care plan and all the medical evidence, said this is going to be enough to take care of her medically for the rest of her life. So $45 million was the number we settled at. $45 million was what we settled the case for. Hard money, not $15 million that looks like $45 million, but $45 million hard money. Truthfully, I believe the case was worth more than that. They say, from what I've heard, that this is one of the, if not the, largest personal injury settlements historically in our country. I still don't think it's enough. What gets me heated and what really fired me up about this case is that the insurance company had a brain-damaged little girl, a child, a 4-year-old little girl, and wouldn't pay her $250,000. What kind of human being wouldn't pay $250,000 to a little girl with a brain injury who was in her car seat when her vehicle got rear-ended by a negligent driver who was fuddling around with his cell phone? The only thing that would motivate somebody to act that way is, well, it can't be evil, because I just don't believe people are evil. It's got to just be callous disregard. Just callous disregard and greed, or a corporate structure in a system that does whatever it takes to give people the least amount possible, or the best case scenario, which is nothing. That irks me. It fires me up. It makes me sick to my stomach. It motivates me to do what I do.